All right, well, welcome to The Scoop. This is episode 11. All right. So, as usual, Whitney Reid, National Sales Manager, BPI Sports, and I'm here with my boss, Chris Mackenzie, VP of the company.
VP of the company.
Yeah, here we are. This is going to be Angry Scoop week. I don't know. Little edge in the air today.
Mostly due to Josh.
Oh, dude. Guys, there's this guy that works for us named Josh.
And he will be listening.
Oh, this kid's the worst.
Let it out a little bit, man.
We'll get him in. We'll let him give you guys a sales pitch next time. And I don't expect you to buy anything because none of his accounts do. So it'll be another day in the office.
Oh, boy.
So listen, we got a Dennis who runs this and runs our Facebook and Instagram. As has been said, Dennis is the guy that loads into the software what to load up over the weekend, so he doesn't have to get up and put anything up. Put a agenda together for the scoop today, so we'll run through that. I guess according to Dennis's agenda, we're gonna tee Whitney up here.
Well, one big announcement we had was my baby mama, India Paulino. We have recently signed her to BPI Sports. She's one of our newest athletes. So we're really excited about that. And we've got a really cool YouTube series, video series that we're putting together now with our friends here, with my buddy Mike over here, and putting together a cool video series on just basically leading up to the pregnancy and what, you know, if you didn't know, we had a baby back in December, but basically like what her career was before she got pregnant. She's got more pro wins than any other bikini competitor out there, and then the transition to motherhood, and now adjusting to being a mom. So,
and I should add, we were out this weekend at a fundraiser for Great Danes, because that's something that's my wife Jen is passionate about.
At a very unique bar, by the way.
At a really fun place, and India and Whitney came, and they had the baby in the stroller, and then they left, and this woman said to me, "Don't tell me that girl had that baby." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I didn't even tell you this one." I said, "Yeah, they're like a fitness couple." And I said, "Yeah, you know, she's whatever, you know, I meant, you know, it's hard to explain the level that people achieve to those who don't understand fitness." So, so you know, she's won some of the biggest shows, and she's been on 1 million covers. And I said, he's been on a couple covers too. You know, he's done, what do you call it? I said, all the bodybuilding magazines, and probably a romance novel or two. And the girls didn't hear it. They're like, "He wrote a romance novel?" And apparently I said yes, because I guess I stopped paying attention to him at that point in time. So if you go back there, you will be like a Brian Griffin level.
Nice. See it, want it, wish it.
Want it, wish it, achieve it. But the first two are the same.
Perfect. As long as I'm not invited on to the Bill Maher show to talk about that.
So on that note, for India, I'm sure most of the people that follow BPI would know Whitney and India, but if you want to follow her on social media, the Instagram name is India Paulino, and there's no underlines or anything, so it's just at INDIAPAULINO, and that will get you insights into lifestyle, parenting, supplementing, training, coming back, staying on top of the game. So, Whitney, you know, India is training really hard. Let me ask you this. We just launched the newest version of our pre-workout. We'll talk about one more in a minute. Has she been using the one more rep? How has she been?
Absolutely. And, you know, she hasn't in the past used pre-workouts a lot in her training. And especially when she was pregnant, she wasn't using anything heavy stimulant. So this is something new for her, and she loves it, especially the new formula, which we will get into.
Well, let's talk one more rep right now. So we're going to get right into a little product discussion. And, you know, this podcast, as we have it, is designed to be fun and kind of industry focused. But at the same time, we need to talk a little bit about what goes on here at BPI and what's new here. And the new One More Rep. This is the product that got this company started. 1MR, as it used to be called, and it will still be referred to, really came on the scene in 2009, 2010. And I mean, we lit this place on fire with that product. Everybody that sold it we couldn't ship it fast enough. And it really was a phenomenon in the game. This is before C4 had really gotten mega popular. We were competing with Jack 3D, and those were great days. It was great days for us, great days for the supplement industry. I mean, the pre-workout game was like just getting broken into, and it was really a lot of fun. But the one thing that really made a difference when we launched this product is you took 1MR and you were in a different zone. You were like ready and amped up. And back about 8 years ago or 9 years ago, the marketplace was really focused on energy. Just like the more hyperactive you could feel, the better the product would be. And if it kept you up for 4 days straight or turned your dick inside out, no one cared. It was just about unrelenting energy. That energy component maintains a little bit today. People still expect a little kick in the pants from a pre-workout, but people are looking for something different. And that's a big part of what, I mean, Whitney and I have been proponents of this formula since before we put it in a bottle. I mean, I don't want to speak for you.
So we'll go into that. The first time that I tried a concoction similar to this was we were on a sales call, and this was several years back. And I believe we were at a pretty shitty LA Fitness somewhere, but you had a bag full of pills. And I was like, well, what are you mixing up over there? What are you taking? Let me have some of that, whatever it is. And it was beetroot, citrulline, and I can't remember whatever else was in the mixture.
Knowing
and some,
which is not
maybe some creatine. Yeah. But it was that combination. And I remember I had such an insane pump that, and we constantly talked about that specific formula and those dosages, and it's definitely effective. And that's why we're really excited about this product, because that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah, I mean, the new 1MR, listen, it's really focused on enhancing your workout more than anything. It's not just energy, and it's not just pump. It's really about having a better workout. And there's a couple trends in the marketplace that I see happening that this version really hits the nail on the head. Number one is we don't use any artificial colors whatsoever. We do use beetroot, and I bring that up here because no matter what you put in something, if there's beetroot in it, it turns it red. So that alleviates the pressure of artificial colors for us, but also we want to make cleaner products and be in trend with what consumers are looking for.
Yeah, you get orange and it's red, don't be alarmed. The powder is all red. But
I'll tell you, the iced tea raspberry flavor is probably my favorite flavor of a supplement that I've ever had. But even more than that, beetroot and citrulline, these are really good for you ingredients. Back in the old days when, 1,3 was out there, or guys that put upwards of 400 milligrams of caffeine in a product, I mean, it did the trick, but you knew it wasn't really good for you.
Oh, absolutely. And you felt like shit afterwards.
Yeah.
I remember back, and this was back in the original 1MR days. This was before I was actually working here. And I was making a trip from Hickory, North Carolina. I was visiting our good friend Kevin DeHaven. And he gave me a sample pack of that original 1MR. And I probably left North Carolina around midnight, and I drove all overnight to Manhattan, and I took a pack along the way, and I probably didn't sleep for at least a day.
Yeah,
I mean, I was up I had no problem driving up, all the way. And like you said, didn't care if it turned your dick inside out. I probably didn't piss for like an extra day either, though, because for whatever reason,
it was magical stuff. Yeah. Magical stuff.
But it did work.
Yeah. But no, this new formula, honestly, I personally am a huge advocate of this. It's a formula that I've always liked. Whitney mentioned that he and I were taking these ingredients independent of formulated products. So I'm really on board. And anybody that's out there, give it that old pre-workout test. And the old pre-workout test is get your hands on a sample pack or a scoop from a buddy and try it. Because the one thing that one more rep will do, it will make you feel better in the gym, and it will make you enjoy your workout more. And if you're playing your cards right, it will get you that extra little bit, and that's the whole one more rep philosophy. Just being able to have a product or have a philosophy or have a workout that pushes you one step further than you would be otherwise, because it's that one additional rep that the next day is going to make you sore and is going to make you better and is going to bring it back to the bench press with 315 on the bar and have you get that fourth rep instead of the 315 for 3 you've been bouncing off your sternum for the past 3 years. So it is, honestly, it's an awesome product, and I can't wait for it to start. So Whit, you and I deal with a lot of retailers together and independent. Right now, one more rep is available on our website, and we do have a relatively aggressive launch promo going that Ariel was very aggressive in putting together. So kudos to him. We're going to get some product out there early to some of our more motivated fans who follow along the website. Next appearance will be...
it's coming up in Vitamin Shop. Look for it on shelves probably mid-June, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so we're really excited for that. And GNC will be retailing the product right on the heels of Vitamin Shop. It's really... In the retail world, it's about when the stores get new shipments and reset their shelves.
Just timing.
While we're talking about it, we should thank our friends at Muscle and Strength.
Absolutely. We just won a really nice award from Muscle and Strength.
I believe it was Best Product Innovation of the Year.
Best
They were
Product
very
Innovation,
impressed with the formula.
Yep. So you can get it there now. Don't know if
Muscle
they're
and
running a
Strength-
promo, but they're such a solid partner of ours.
Yeah, listen, we got to talk about that
Yeah.
website for a second. I mean, I was always... Well, you started your career at bodybuilding.com, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's where like kind of all of this came from, oddly enough. It was doing different videos and images for bodybuilding.com and kind of
What year? 2000...
I don't know, 2006?
Yep.
Somewhere around there, 2006, 2007 maybe. So I was always closely tied with those guys back in the day, and things have transitioned.
Well, it was family owned back then.
Yeah, it was a different world
Yeah.
back then. It was totally different. That was before the paid content, right? That was just these guys looking for a couple of athletes to come out to Boise and shoot content. Now it's all paid, obviously, but with things changing at bodybuilding.com, Muscle and Strength has really stepped up.
Found a great niche.
Yeah, because there used to not be a number 2 on the e-retailer side. It was always bodybuilding.com and a bunch of...
And a Gap.
And then a bunch of other guys that were like, okay. But Muscle and Strength has stepped up and really have taken over that e-retail space.
I mean, really, honestly, ever since Joe Hudson left Muscle and Strength, it's been like a skyrocket to the top, the way I see it. So
the numbers show it.
Man, it just jumped right up. So. And Joe Hudson now works for us, so we're just busting his chops.
One more rep, though. How many reps did you get on the squat at our launch party?
Listen, I don't know, because this asshole here won't send me the video. It's all right. It's only been 3 weeks. He's got to edit.
3 weeks,
minutes worth.
So we had some contests at our One More Rep launch party a couple of weeks ago, and Chris.
We're waiting for Dennis to repurpose all the footage.
Yeah, as soon as we actually
should roll out in 2019.
Yeah, it was super.
Actually,
easy.
Whitney got one more rep than anyone else with a torn pec.
Right.
Because he had a little. Whitney was going for.
Whitney
was hoping for an optimistic 30 at 225 on the bench.
Yeah.
I honestly think he could have got it because I've seen him. He was in a great bench zone, but he actually got a little tweak and wisely racked the bar rather than risk injury.
Yeah, I wasn't going to push it. Not for that. No, my plan is from this point forward. Chris and I were talking about it yesterday. Probably by like early July.
By July 14th.
Yeah, be in great shape as far as being lean. I'm still gonna work on my strength as well. I think that goes hand in hand for me. When I'm training heavy and everything's kind of clicking, sometimes I get stronger even as I'm getting leaner. But I'm not going to focus as much on the flat bench for the next few weeks. I've taken about 3 weeks off now since and it was just a slight injury. It wasn't anything serious. But I'm eventually going to go back to doing some bench press. And my original goal, and this was, before I got injured, was I got under the bench press bar, I don't know, a couple months ago. This is maybe back in March. And I'd noticed that I'd lost a lot of strength, right? Because back in the day, I used to lift some pretty serious weight with the flat bench. But over the years, I kind of let that go, and I didn't even, I just didn't even care about the numbers.
Well, people brainwash into thinking if you care about your bench press, you're a poser.
Yeah, they make you feel like, meathead.
But those are people that can't bench press.
That's
Right.
true, because I think you're a poser if you can, I can't.
Right, and I always had a pretty good bench press. So I wasn't happy with the number that I pushed up back in March. So I said, fuck it. Is that number 4? Number 3. Okay. I'm gonna get my bench back up to a respectable number. And I took an old bench press routine that I'd used back in 2002 for the first time that I actually benched over 450, and I designed that based on what my current 1 rep max was, and my goal was to be over 4 on a good clean pause by beginning of July, and then start moving some serious weight. Obviously, things have been stalled, but my goal is still by the end of the summer, maybe by August now, getting up to 405 for a good clean pause on the bench press. So
on that note, with the launch of the new One More Rep, we do have a One More Rep training program that's available. It's available in, let me see. It's available via download on our website, bpisports.com. It's a pretty nice, comprehensive, start to finish.
And here it is.
Yeah, everything you need to be doing.
Right here.
One workout at a time kind of thing. I believe James put it together, and James has really been coming out with some amazing advanced training techniques as of late. So, he definitely has his finger on the pulse of different workout I mean, listen, he has his finger on the pulse of different workout strategies. Whitney and I have our finger on the pulse of the same shit for 100 years, because that works too. But not everybody wants to just put their nose to the grindstone and keep grinding. And there is a lot of innovation and a lot of new things. I mean, progressive resistance with bands and different techniques, and there's a lot of validity in that space. And James really pays a lot of attention and tries to be a student of the newer stuff while maintaining respect for the classics. So
Why you guys just keep on banging your head against metal?
Credit to him, yep. But in the meantime, my deadlift's still going up, and I'm fucking 45 years old, man.
So speaking of that,
All right, so every year, Chris slides in at the last minute with a show, right? A surprise show. Are there any surprise shows coming up? And you don't have to tell us now.
There's definitely something coming up, because I've always mentioned my goal is to just pull it together once a year, every year, till it's so gruesome to see that you have to stop.
And you do it, and you win. I mean,
you're
successful.
As long as my balls are higher than my kneecaps, I will still put on bodybuilding trunks and try and get out there. But once I exceed that level of hang, I will stop. So, no, I think I could pull something good together again, and it's my way of staying motivated and staying current. I always make the joke that I don't want to be that guy that says, oh, I used to be a bodybuilder, and you have to go to like an actual photo on film to prove it. So, yeah, you want to stay digital, yeah. And current. So that, that's my goal. And I do have a couple friends who are my age or older that are still plugging away. I mean, Kevin still might have something happening. I mean, my buddy Tim.
Your buddy Tim is
Tim Martin,
insane.
I don't know if he's going to compete, but I mean, his strength level at 50 years old is there.
Tim's 50?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So there's some good shit going on there.
Well, I'm rooting for you to do Team U or Universe now that it's that's the show I want to see.
Well, we'll see. We do have a business I have a business trip that week.
Right.
Leading into it, which is a major cock block to competing. So we'll see how that goes, but business first, and that's what makes BPI successful. So my goal for the summer, honestly, Dennis, and I appreciate your asking, number one, I want to get in really good. I've tried to compete every year, and unfortunately, it's like a sliding scale. You say, I'm going to go in spring and get in great shape, and then spring turns into summer. Summer starts slipping by. Now you'll get your trip to the Olympia for work, and you're saying, fuck, man, if I don't get this shit together, it's going to be January because there's only so many shows. So my goal is to get a good show in during the summer, so I'm not looking into the fall trying to quote unquote squeeze it in. And I will say this, at my age, it is a lot harder. So when I actually am performing well when I compete. I've won a couple NPC shows, either my class or the overall.
At your strongest deadlift yet.
Yeah, but when I was younger, I may not have known what really good shape was. Maybe I got to like 95% in shape. But I got there so much fucking easier. Like, there was years I competed at a local show or whatever, 4 weeks. And what I thought was a diet was like, don't eat cereal 3 times a day. Now that you're older, it is a longer approach and more. And, obviously the launch of the new One More Rep is a product I'm very, very drawn to. I do use the living heck out of our BCAAs. And I know we have some new flavors coming up that we could touch on, which I like. And another product that's helped me that I don't mind giving a plug to, because we haven't talked about this product for a zillion years, but we have a product called AHD. It's like kind of a hormone optimizer or a test booster. I'm not one of the guys that's chronically on test boosters, and I want everybody to know, not a type of guy who's into the pro hormone space or looking for like gray market edgy things. And that's part of the reason why I've been able to use the AHD product, intermittently since we launched it back in like 2010, I believe that one launched. And it really helps. I want to give one quick historical point on this, and then we'll kind of start moving. But this product AHD, when it launched way back when, was so successful that even as a test booster, it was the number 2 selling capsule at Vitamin Shop for 1 or 2 years. And it was the number 2 selling capsule when OxyElite was in the market. And for those of you under 24 that can't remember it, OxyElite was a phenomenon of supplement success like that's never been seen before. So good, in fact, they had to make it illegal, as some people might say. But this product AHD sold right in its footsteps. I mean, Whitney, what do you think of the product?
No, it's a great product. And like you said, I mean, being that it was right there, right behind Oxy Elite in Vitamin Shop. And Vitamin Shop they sold so much Oxy Elite. They had cases and cases at the cash wrap. And AHD just kept on ticking along. And it was such a popular product. And I think over time that maybe, people have either
you forget about it.
Yeah, you just kind of forget about it, but it's still holding strong for us. It's a great product. If you just want to naturally increase your natural testosterone levels, there's no other product like this on the market.
Yeah, I mean, I would be testimony to that. So as I said, I'm not a chronic test booster user, and I'm not a SARMs or a pro-hormone guy. So probably maybe once a year when I'm trying to get super lean and hard, as we refer to it, I'll go in the back and steal a bottle of this, because that's one of the benefits you get to working here. Except for you, Josh. You still got to buy your shit through the employee portal. And don't sign it out as trunk stock either, you lazy bastard. But every time you do, really, especially when you're already getting in shape, this is like an accelerator. And as a 40 and over type person, which it hurts me to say that I am, and pretty soon I'll be a 50 and over person, which is fucking mind-blowing.
That's insane.
Yeah, but
hey, and
it makes a difference.
No, and your wife will love it too.
Oh. The girls. Actually, my wife fears it. So, yeah, she wants nothing to do with it. But no, it's a great product, and it definitely helps. And honestly, for the competitor side, we did a lot of our marketing around this product based on competitors, leaner, harder, drier looking, talking about how some of the ingredients can help with your hormonal optimization. But for the over 40 crowd, I mean, we've all seen, some great brands out there. Nugenics runs the TV spots. I mean, if you're looking for a product in that space, this is one that has 10 years of successful track record. And there's kind of a reason why we forgot about AHD. Just because it works. We haven't had to reformulate or launch or really focus on it because it sells well, it performs well, people like it. And almost the fact that you let it go on autopilot is a testimony to how good it is. But I did want to shake some of the dust off it and talk about it. Yeah, no, this shit's great. Yeah. I mean, and listen, we're not going to do any more product plugs, don't worry. But our CLA Carnitine product, another must-have for anyone getting ready for the summer. But we'll leave it there. But yeah, great products, great stuff.
It's the fire drill.
I know that sound.
All right, guys. So today we talked a lot about testosterone boosters and kind of just getting into shape and staying in shape kind of after the age of 35, let's say. You guys are in way better shape than me. So I'm going to ask you guys these questions. Low T is something that all men will have to deal with. How do you guys kind of combat that? It's a very popular item, but how do you guys combat that in your personal fitness lives? I think you guys would be perfect people to ask.
Well, training in general will help increase your testosterone. So be consistent in the gym. And saying that not overtraining, because that can actually lower it. So it is a kind of a tricky line there, but definitely continue to train at the gym. That's going to help keep your testosterone high.
I mean, I've read 100 times that resistance training and intense intermittent training does help your testosterone levels. I mean, look, we're not doctors, and I do not ever get my testosterone levels checked or get blood work regular. So, I can tell you what works for me, and I do think it works for me because everything still works. So pretty happy with it all. Resistance training, definitely for every reason in health,
Yep.
Resistance training, I think.
Yeah, that's the answer to everything. And I do get my blood work done. I actually had it done this morning. I'll have the results within the next 6-7 days, we'll share that. We'll share that with everybody.
What about some nutrition stuff and some supplementation stuff that I can do to combat this?
Nutrition, just a healthy diet. If you're an excess fat diet, it's going to mess with your metabolism. It's going to mess with your testosterone. And also, if you're extremely low in fat, it goes the same way as training. If you're extremely low in the fat intake, your testosterone is going to fall. So it has to be a healthy, balanced diet. And then, just like we just talked about, AHD Elite is a great product to increase your natural testosterone production.
Yeah, and I can't come back and stress the balanced diet enough. I mean, even we do a lot of ketogenic dieting, which has a lot of benefits. I mean, if you're not really going to take the full diet bull by the horns like ketogenic is, where you basically take control of it, dieting is not hard. Don't eat fried food. Don't eat fast food. Don't eat excessive amount of carbohydrates, and make protein the dominant part of your macronutrient or food consumption. and you're 75% of the way there.
You're on your way there.
Yeah.
Don't drink your calories. I mean, it's pretty easy, right?
Yeah. Sugar, very bad. And, it does play in your hormonal balance. So those are some very easy things.
How important is nutrition on the day of a show, 24 hours, and on the day of a shoot? Like, let's say, what are you guys thinking? Are you done eating? Do you still need to eat? Because with a show, I guess it's a little different because you still want to puff up a little bit. But for a shoot, I think you want to lean out.
It just depends, really. All right, so look, and this might sound kind of stupid, but if you're in really good shape, if you're shredded and you're getting ready to get on stage or do a cover shoot or whatever it is, you're not going to fuck it up that day. You're just not. So
it will ruin my
I'm not
work with one day.
No, and I'm not saying to bring McDonald's with you and just like pick out on cheeseburgers all day, but you're not going to ruin your physique in one day. You're going to ruin your stomach that day for sure because you're not used to eating all that shit. But that the day of, and I'm not suggesting doing this, the day of it's not going to hurt you.
I've used an analogy a couple of times when people ask that. Imagine if someone never works out and just eats a lot of food.
Yeah.
Dennis, let's look at your physique because you're a chubbier guy and I mean, you do exercise and stuff, but let's pretend that you and your normal lifestyle for one day ate perfect.
Right.
And then went back to your normal lifestyle. Yeah. Would you be scared that you're going to wake up and be super jacked and like look in the mirror and just like, oh my God, is that Mike O'Hearn or Dennis? I'm not sure.
I have that
right? So, or if Josh, you're going to think you're going to wake up and just be like, oh my God, people think it's The Rock when they see me, I would use the reciprocal of that, which is if you've been dieting for 4 months, 3 months, and then one day you fall apart. Right. Are you going to wake up and look like you looked before you started? Absolutely not, So people get a little in their head. I mean, there are some cool shit. I mean, when you're totally dialed in and body fat's low, you do see things faster. Like
1%. Like you're talking about, you could be at 95%.
Yeah, I mean, and you see it faster. You eat some carbs and you fill up, whereas if you're, 13% body fat.
And that also has to do if you're like messing with your water and dehydrating yourself, that's an entirely different topic. But that being said, though, Dennis has been going to the gym regularly. He's dropped close to 20 pounds.
20 pounds down, actually.
Yeah. Sent me a really cool picture of himself last night.
Okay.
What are some exercises I should be avoiding after, let's say, 40? Do you avoid any?
I do not have any specific. Well, first off, Whitney's 37. So let's not let him off the hook entirely because he's knocking on the door. So exercises to avoid. There are no specific exercises to avoid. And if you think maybe squats or deadlifts you have to avoid because of your age, then you're a pussy and you're wrong. However, I will give you this. If you have an injury or something that hurts.
Disclaimer.
Avoid it. If you were a runner your whole life and your knees are shot, maybe squatting ass to grass isn't the best. I mean, I know a lot of guys my age and older who are in amazing shape that are having hip replacements. And it's amazing how fast hip replacements recovery is. I mean, there's guys I know that got a hip replacement that are right back to squatting within 3 months. But, if you have an injury, obviously be smart and don't look to, push the envelope. Like our buddy Marty, Marty had a hip replacement probably about 4 years ago, and he'd been a bodybuilder. He's a smaller guy for his entire life. He turned IFBB pro at like 52 with the Masters Nationals after having a hip replacement. He's won the USAs as a bantamweight, won the Team Universe. So if you stick with it, you do keep getting better, but avoid shit that hurts you.
All right, so the athlete of we have the month on the sheet here, but are we going to say the week or the month?
No, it's the month.
It's the month. He's the athlete of the entire month.
Of the quarter.
Okay. Now, this guy's got an awesome physique. Nevin Wood, he's from Canada. I think James found this guy maybe on Instagram. I'm not sure, but he's jacked. I mean, I don't know if he's a competitor or.
He's friends with our friends from Inside Fitness up in Canada.
Oh, okay. He's friends with Terry and those guys at Inside Fitness. Okay.
They watch the podcast, so shout out to them.
Oh yeah, shout out to my buddy Terry. Those guys are good friends of ours. But no, this guy's got an incredible physique. Check out his Instagram. I believe it's on the screen now.
Nevin.wood.
Nevin.wood. Okay.
I'm looking at it now. I mean, I'm not that impressed, man. These pecs look tiny. Arms are mega thin.
Yeah, you got to step up your game, Nevin.
I mean, he's only got, that's only 8 plates aside on the deadlift. Yeah, he's gonna have to do better, bro.
Nah.
No, this kid is an unreal beast. All joking aside, I mean, this kid's legit. Makes me jealous. Makes me wish I was a strong 20-something-year-old guy. So, yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
Ambassador
Hey, one more thing before we move on. I got to add our Canadian business. My friend Dave Whalen's up there. He's killing it. We are going to be at, I believe, the Toronto Pro in a couple weeks, which is a huge show in Canada. And our good friends at Nutrition Club are our distributors in Canada. They were just down here, John and James, a class act group of people. They do the BPI brand, such justice up there. And we've been in and out of the Canadian business, the Canadian supplement scene for a couple of years. So we finally have a lot of ducks in a row. And we're going to really, 2018 into 2019 will be a great year for my friends up in Canada and the BPI brand. So I go up there about once a year. I can't wait to see everybody again. And Canada, watch out, because we got some great stuff coming through your difficult but effective government coming in from the U.S. So.
Oh, and we have to mention here also the ambassador of the month, Sammy Swole on Instagram. He's from New York, a longtime ambassador of BPI Sports, and I'm just clicking through here, watching him pull 650 here on a deadlift. So really strong dude.
This kid's strong as fuck too.
Yeah.
Man.
Where are we finding all these
some
strong guys?
ambassadors like crazy?
Seriously.
What kind of flag is that? His name is Samir. I'm not
And he says he's 98% natty.
as fuck.
Oh, what's the 2%?
That's that mystery Illuminati.
I don't. Yeah, he's
That's
a
the
little.
mystery Illuminati.
Yeah, Dennis, your crew, the
We'll have to
Illuminati.
ask
I don't
him
know,
about
but this
that.
guy's strong as hell. He's got a cool
Yeah,
Instagram.
he
Go
loves
follow
us.
him.
And he
Yeah.
loves us. That's what we love about our ambassadors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a great ambassador and affiliate program, and if anybody thinks that they would be qualified or interested,
Just go to Instagram.
DENIZ
No.
at BPIsports.net. Dennis will ignore your email until pushed to not ignore it,
He
and then
actually
half
men-
ignore it.
Yeah, he said that he hasn't had the opportunity to ignore any emails over the last several months. So please flood his inbox.
No, please don't.
Yeah. All right, so let's bring it down the home stretch here. The one thing I would really encourage everybody, get your hands on a bottle of the new One More Rep, because it's definitely a pre-workout you want to try. Currently, it hasn't hit the retail shelves yet, although it's shipped out, so only a couple weeks till it makes it. But currently available at the newly revamped and actually really fun to spend time on BPI website, which is simply bpisports.com. It's got the homepage banner, so you can't miss it when you get there. But the new website is actually really fun, easy to navigate. There's a lot of free content, all kinds of great stuff. So definitely, if you haven't had the chance yet, check out the new website and grab the new One More Rep at a special promo price ASAP.
Awesome. And guys, we're extremely active. BPI is extremely active on all social media platforms. So be sure to go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Everything will be listed right here on the screen.
Boom. We're good to go.
And we're out.
I like